Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin.
The leader in talk radio on the internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
All right, folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. 800-643-1796. And again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Wow. Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely.
Mitchell.
I have had about all I want of this backward logic and blaming innocent people for what happened in Orlando, and the left continuing to posture politically, to point the finger at everybody but who's to blame. Hello, everybody. Welcome to it. If you are looking to connect with the show, you can do so a few ways. We're on the web, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com. You can email me anytime, Gavin@thegavinmitchellshow.com, and we are on Twitter @TheGMShow. If you would like to give us a follow, we sure would appreciate it. I want to spend the first segment today running down a line of logic. I don't want to voice my opinion too early. I don't want to reveal my hand too early. I just want to follow the facts as they are with this Orlando situation and let you draw your own conclusion. And as we close this segment, we can decide if we agree. The facts are simple. We have a homegrown terrorist, and I'm using air quotes, in this Mateen. He was born in New York, lived in Port St. Lucie, Florida, but we know that his parents are from Pakistan or Afghanistan. It doesn't matter. One of the two is all that matters. And he shoots up a gay nightclub, killing 49 and wounding many more, 100 casualties at or about. We know that this guy went around, he was a racist, he was a bigot, in a true term, not what the left uses, but he's those things. By definition, he is those things. He called 911 and pledged his allegiance to ISIS, and reports are now coming out, and they're being solidified and verified, that one of the main drivers for this nut job was that he was tired of his country being bombed. He was tired of bombs dropping on his country. But wait a second. He's American. He was born in New York. He lives in Florida. He's American. But the reason he claims he pulled the trigger at this gay nightclub was because his country was being bombed. So he had this belief about him that he wasn't American. Now, it's right there where I want to stop everything because those are the facts. And I want to get into, well, who's to blame for that? If we take him at his word and the bombings in Afghanistan and Pakistan, who's dropping the bombs? It's not the gay people of Orlando. It's not Paul Ryan. It's not the NRA. Barack Obama is the one who authorized the bombs being dropped over there. Now, I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. My opinion doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, Barack Obama is the one who pulled the trigger on the bombs being dropped in, quote, his country. Now, why did he choose a gay nightclub? Many people say because he was gay. Others will say, well, he's Islamic and they hate gays, and the price for being gay and openly gay is death as far as the Quran's concerned. You've heard that argument. I believe that holds true to a point, but not completely. I believe that this is a group based on the the reports we have gotten that he was familiar with. He was on these dating websites for gay people. He had frequented this club. It was someplace he was familiar with. And sure, he cased and scouted Disney World there in Orlando because that might be an opportunity to cause more havoc. But at the end of the day, he chose a place he was familiar with. And he happened to do it with a pistol of some sort and what they call an assault rifle, something equivalent to an AR-15. And he went and caused a mass murder. So if you were going to line up blame for this, if you were going to put it in order, can someone please tell me where Christianity falls in this list? Just based off the facts, where does Christianity fall? Where do guns fall on this list? Because the fact of the matter is, this Mateen went out. He was mad about bombs being dropped in his country, not the United States, the country he claimed as his own. Well, that's credit to the government. That's not credit to the gay people of Orlando. And he went and shot gay people. If you subscribe to the fact that Islam doesn't tolerate gays and the wage for that is death, well, then you blame Islam. If you don't believe that to be true and you don't believe that's a driver, and I would probably argue with you extensively, especially based on my opinion last show, that was a driver. But if you don't believe that, okay, fine. He picked a place that was familiar to him, that he knew. He knew he'd been to several times, and security was lax. It wasn't going to be a hard target to hit. There were a lot of people there. There was a chance for mass carnage. We can look at ISIS and the indoctrination there of this guy. So we have all these places to point a finger, all of them. But somehow, some way, the leftist media, the Democrats, these social justice warriors have come out and somehow placed blame on guns. And we talked about this yesterday. Had it not been a gun, it would have been a pipe bomb, a suicide vest, it would have been a car, a baseball bat, a fork, a knife. It happens all the time everywhere. We talked about Israel and the strict gun laws there. We talked about France and the strict gun laws there. It still happens. Bad guys still get guns. It wasn't the gun's fault. But this guy had, in his mind, a lot of reasons to be mad. But not a single one of them were guns. Not a single one of them were Christians. Not a single one of them were Republicans. And I think now that I look at this, yes, he had indoctrination of Islam, and sure, that made sense for a target based on that. But I don't even know that it had anything to do with gays. I think this was one upset, fired off, crazy person who somehow, through his lineage, his parents being from Pakistan or Afghanistan, and he was upset about what was going on to his country, to his family, to his people. And with that, tied to the indoctrination of ISIS and the forceful buying into from that organization of the literal interpretation of the Quran, this guy thought the answer was to take it upon himself. And to me, it's that simple. It stops there. There's no place to move forward from there, despite what the left says. It wasn't right-wing, Bible-beating Christianity bigotry from the Republicans that did this. It wasn't even close. But if you ask the left, it is. And my gosh, we've got to get the guns off the street. It's the guns' fault. But we all know, if it hadn't been a gun, it would have been a U-Haul full of fertilizer, like in Oklahoma City. It would have been mailed bombs like the Unabomber. We can go on and on and on. It's not the guns. It's not the, quote, easily accessible guns in this country. That's not what it is. And it's not the Christians. I have yet to this day heard of a Christian going out and killing people in the name of Jesus. It's not what the belief teaches. It's not what the faith teaches. And I'm so sick of hearing that argument. This is a clash between two religions. This is a clash between two cultures. But yet this administration insists on, and in fact, I saw a report last night, not only is this president continuing to bring in refugees in which these crazy nutjob terrorists are embedded, he's doing it at an accelerated rate. Do you remember the whole spell? Oh, it'll take 2 or 3 years to vet these people. The CIA director, the FBI director, all the intelligence directors, we can't vet these people. It's not possible. There's no paper trail. We don't know who they are. But this president not only insists it can be done ahead of schedule, and here they come. They're coming. They're on their way. And if we don't understand what this is, and the president comes out and says, oh, well, what's in a name? What's in a name? Words are important, Mr. President. They're very important. Because if you don't understand that this is a group who is working off the literal interpretation of Islam, you've missed the boat. You don't know who the enemy is you're fighting. And if you don't know who they are, how can you beat them? It's impossible to do that. And so I just look and I listen and I watch the reactions, and there are people getting on TV passionate about gun control. And it's got to be the gun's fault. Passionate that this guy was a subject of criticism and embarrassment. It's not true. This guy created his own hate in his own bubble. He surrounded himself with what he wanted to. He never turned and stopped and looked at the fact that his parents had the opportunity to come to the greatest country in the world, where he has the freedom to practice whatever religion he wants. He didn't stop and take a look that he has an opportunity to make a living, and he can go to gay clubs and be on gay dating sites without persecution. He never stopped to think of that. Why? Because he surrounded himself with what he wanted to. And he believed what he wanted to. And what did he want to believe? He wanted to believe that America was evil because they're dropping bombs on his homeland. And when he started searching for somebody that agreed with that had the same philosophies, he found ISIS. And ISIS told him everything he wanted to hear, made him believe what he needed to believe, indoctrinated him, mind-washed him, brainwashed him into being filled so full of hate that he decided to kill innocent Americans. That's what we're fighting here. People that are not devoted to this country, people who do not have an allegiance to this country because they're not from this country. Yes, he was born here, but everything he was fed was about his motherland and how America's destroying it. And he bought in. He started drinking the Kool-Aid. And then he sought people who thought like he thought, who believed what he believed, who saw what he saw. And he found ISIS. And if you believe it is anything more than that, you're backwards. You're wrong. It really is that simple. Now, the Senate, at least the Democrats in the Senate, decided that they're not going to let any tragedy go untouched. This is an opportunity for them to advance their agenda. We're going to talk about that next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. It's summertime again, ladies. Time to break out those sandals and give your toenails a little TLC. The nail technicians at Friendly Nails in Cleburne, Texas are ready to provide you with professional and friendly service. From manicures to pedicures and a variety of specialized services such as acrylic nails, facials, and waxing. Custom designs and a variety of stones to accent your nails are also available. The technicians at Friendly Nails are all licensed and trained in the latest technology and have experience applying every kind of polish on the market. So stop by and be treated like royalty. Relax in their massage chair chairs and unwind. Full body massage therapy is also available by appointment only. For all you guys wanting to give your special lady a little treat, $50 gift certificates are available now for $40. And anyone who mentions hearing about Friendly Nails on the Gavin Mitchell Show or KLIF will get $10 off any $50 purchase. Friendly Nails is open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 180 North Ridgeway Drive in Cleburne, Texas. Call them at 817-641-3400. Walk-ins are welcome.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-525-8479 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-525-8479 to take your call now. Call 1-800-525-8479. That's 1-800-525-8479. Again, 1-800-525-8479.
Do you need residential or commercial roof repairs, maintenance, or replacement in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? Jaybo Roofing has over 35 years of experience in the industry, and they have the know-how to keep you dry and comfortable. Jaybo Roofing also offers a roofing system that is warranted against hail of any size, and this is a no-excuse warranty. Jaybo Roofing doesn't want their customers to cringe every time it hails. They want customers to have complete confidence that their roofing system is going to stand up to the task. Basically, Jaybo Roofing wants to stop the insanity lifetime roofing period. Re-roof once and be done. A Jaybo roof product is aesthetically pleasing and tougher than anything you can find. A Jaybo roof is so nice your neighbors will want it. Jaybo lifetime roofing systems are strong as steel, tougher than hail, and guaranteed. So it'll be the last roof you put on your house. Looking for a price? Get a no-cost, no-obligation quote today at jabeau.com. That's jabeau.com. Jaybo Roofing. Your long-term satisfaction is their immediate goal.
Twisted Roads Trading Post in Crowley, Texas is your premier biker apparel, leather, and accessories store. Stop in and visit with Brothers Ron and Carl Phillips. Twisted Roads Trading Post carries leather jackets, chaps, vests, accessories, gifts, and more. Open 6 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and on Sundays, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Got a motorcycle or truck to sell? Their park and sell lot is now available and anxious to show off your ride. Visit us for sewing, embroidery, and t-shirt printing services. Airbrush services by our friends at Kingdom Custom Creations are also available throughout the week. Call today or visit twistedroadstradingpost.com or find and like them on Facebook. Located west of Crowley on FM 1187, then south on FM 1902. Go 1.3 miles and look for the flags. 817-768-8761. That's 817-768-8761. Twisted Roads Trading Post. If the flags are flying, we're open.
Let's get back to the program. If you're sick of the garbage that comes out of Washington, D.C., then it's time to arm yourself with knowledge from the Blue Collar Professor. Here's your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Yesterday, the Senate was scheduled to take up discussion and amendments on an annual appropriation bill. It was the Commerce, Justice, Science appropriation bills. And that's basically the budget for that situation. The Democrats saw it as an opportunity to attack the gun control situation. Now, regardless of where you've landed, because I've heard a lot of people on the right come out and say, look, I don't know that I'm so against eliminating some of these, quote, assault rifles. I believe in the Second Amendment wholeheartedly, but it might be time to compromise. It might be time to meet in the middle on this and move from there. If that's your position, fine. That's great. I'm holding my position that guns do not kill people. People kill people. And whether you have an AR-15, you have a bazooka, a tank, or a pellet gun, if you are determined to hurt somebody, you're going to find a way to do it. It's just not the gun. I understand that the argument from the left is, well, if you have a gun, it's easy. If you don't have a gun, maybe you got to get a little more creative. Whatever. So you jump in your 1996 Honda Civic and you run right into a crowd of people. You plow right through the front doors and keep going. What's the difference? Well, what's the difference between the two? We're not going to outlaw cars. And there's certainly no talk about stripping those that are not Americans, those with terrorist indications about them, to take their driver's license away from them. We're not even close to that. But it's the gun's fault. And so Chris Murphy, he's a senator from Connecticut, obviously a Democrat, decided that he was going to saddle up at 11:21 a.m. yesterday, and he was going to stand on the floor and he was going to talk until Mitch McConnell and the leadership of the Republican Party agreed to at least debate and have an up and down vote on some gun control measures. And his two measures were pretty simple. Universal background checks. There can be no loopholes, whether you buy it from a person, whether you get it from a firearms dealer, or you go to a gun show. There has to be universal background checks. That was one piece, and we'll address that. The other piece was that if you're on this no-fly list, you shouldn't be able to get a gun. Now, the no-fly list is a term we throw around a lot. What does it mean? What is the no-fly list? The no-fly list is a list put together by the FBI, the CIA, the DEA, whatever, the government, and the intelligence agencies there. And they determine, hey, this person's suspicious. He might be involved in terrorism. This guy we really think is involved in terrorism. And they get this list of names and they distribute it to all the airlines in the United States. And the airlines then elect voluntarily to not allow anybody on that list to not fly. The problem with this list is the threshold to be put on it is so incredibly low. And that's why those of us on the right have a problem with this. Is that it just has to say, we think he might be, and you're added to that list. Now, why isn't the right up in arms about people who haven't gone through due process not being able to fly? Because these airlines are not government ran. They're privately ran. These are private businesses. Yes, they're publicly held, but they're individual entities absent of the government. They can do whatever they want to do. It's the same argument we have for the bakery not wanting to bake a cake for the gay couple. The cake shop can do whatever they want to do. The airlines can do whatever they want to do. If they want to elect to allow suspected terrorists to fly, fine. Doesn't mean I'm getting on that plane, but they can do what they want to do. They're private businesses. And that's why you don't hear pushback from the right over this no-fly list as it's held now. We've given a number of examples about this no-fly list. Ted Kennedy, a 30-year senator, was on the no-fly list. Reputable journalists have been on the no-fly list. And moreover, I am Gavin Mitchell from the Dallas area. But if there is a Gavin Mitchell from Portland, Maine, who's suspected to be engaged in some sort of terrorism, maybe his cousin's friend went to an ISIS website. Now everybody in their network's on that list, because sometimes that might be all it takes. I cannot get on a plane in Dallas now. I cannot go to Love Field or Dallas-Fort Worth and hop on a plane because I'm on the no-fly list. Even though I have nothing to do with terrorist activity and nothing to do with what's going on in Portland, Maine, my name's the same. And they will refuse my boarding pass. And so you begin to understand that, and there is no constitutional right to be able to fly. Moreover, they are private businesses. They can do what they want to. Now, the right has long been a proponent of background checks. In fact, it was the NRA who helped drive the background check law through, if you recall. We're not against keeping guns out of bad people's hands. I'm not against it at all. But what I am against is stripping away constitutional rights, guarantees provided to us by the founding fathers that the federal government agreed to and we agreed to, via ratification assemblies in the states. It's an agreement. It's binding. It's a contract. And I am against stripping away a constitutional right because someone thinks you might be connected somehow without due process. That's why I'm against it, if you want me to be honest. Do I want suspected terrorists to have guns? No, I don't. Do I want bad guys to have guns? No, I don't. But I also understand the slippery slope that this is. And the one thing that has kept this country thriving, the one thing that has made it better than everybody else is that one piece of paper and making sure we follow it at all cost. And to compromise it now makes no sense. Well, Chris Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, got up. And keep in mind, he has a vested interest in this, and probably understandably so. The Sandy Hook Elementary shootings happened in Connecticut. He's a senator from Connecticut. I can understand why this is important to him, for sure. And I don't think that his request was unreasonable, if you want me to be honest. I don't think saying, hey, we need to have a discussion about this. To me, that's democracy. Let's talk. And what better time than now to do it? Of course, you could argue, well, everybody's emotionally charged. That's true. But it's on the forefront of everybody's mind. The public needs some reassurance. We're certainly not getting it from this president. We're not getting leadership or direction from this president. Why can't we look to the Senate chamber and see at least our senators working in debate, having discussion, trying to find a resolution? I'm for that. That's a good thing, in my opinion. Now, some of the arguments I heard during this filibuster, and yeah, I'm one of those guys. I watched C-SPAN for a little bit last night as this thing was going on. I heard some arguments that, well, we don't let them fly. And why don't we let them fly? Because nobody wants a terrorist getting on a plane that could take down a plane and kill up to 200 people. So we're concerned about our safety, so we don't let them on the plane. But a gun could kill far more people than 200 people. If a gun is used correctly, it could kill and hurt a lot more people. At what point do we say, hey, this is just as devastating as letting somebody on a plane and bringing a plane down? Well, on the surface, that makes sense, right? I mean, yeah. But then again, you could take a car and drive it into a crowd, and you can get you 200 people that way. You could drive a U-Haul truck to a federal building in Oklahoma City, and you could kill a lot of people that way too. And so this idea of running scared and eliminating every possible threat is going to leave us in our house eating off paper plates with a spork. Because forks, knives, glass, it's all going to be too dangerous for these people. We're going to be left walking everywhere, and we're going to do it without shoes because you can throw a shoe, right? Ask George W. Bush about that. You can throw a shoe. All sports will be outlawed because, my gosh, we couldn't put a projectile like a baseball in somebody's hands. And what about the bat? It's a slippery slope. I understand their argument. I think it's ill-conceived. I think it's an emotional reaction. I do. But I'm no good. I'm no good with that. And you heard other arguments with, why do we need assault rifles? Why are we even allowing this? And I told you, there are people on the right that are willing to have that discussion. Again, for me, it's not the gun. It's not the gun that kills people. I heard one lady who was a former prosecutor, and she went on to tell these gut-wrenching, just emotional stories of domestic violence and daddies being killed and mamas being hurt and having to tend to the kids. That's real. Make no mistake about it. It's very real. But again, the gun doesn't kill people. It's the people that kill people. And so their claim is the access to the gun. Why do we let all these people access guns? The cold hard truth, and it hasn't changed one bit here on this program, and it hadn't changed one bit with me, and the fact is still a fact. The bad guys will find a way. If they want a gun, they will find a gun. And you think these gun-free zones mean you're safe? Absolutely not. It means the inverse. Every mass shooting in this country that has happened in the last 50 years has happened at gun-free zones. You are a sitting duck, a fish in a barrel in a gun-free zone because you care about the law. You want to follow the rules. Criminals don't by their very definition. And Milo said it best yesterday. Do you think a guy strapped with an AR-15 walking into a gun-free zone, ready and his mind made up to kill people, and then sees the sign, this is a gun-free zone, and says, you know what, you're right, I'm going to go on home? Absolutely not. He thinks, man, this is going to be easy money. I've got me 2 to 3 minutes here to go to work until the police show up, and then I'm going to die. That's how they think. As crazy as that is, as irrational as that is, as freaking cuckoo as people like you and me think that is, that's their mindset. And to think that if we just start limiting gun sales legally, that it's going to stop this, you're out of your mind. Because we're just talking about legal gun sales. And you can't go grab every gun in the United States. 1, logistically, it's not possible. 2, you're walking all over Second Amendment rights. And so if guns are out there, people are going to get them. It's that simple. Why not let the good guys have the guns and shoot back? And so I understand what they were doing. I understand what they were doing up on Capitol Hill. I get it. I do. I think it's a great thing. I think this idea of the no-fly list is a horrible idea because there's no due process. There's not any, and you can't do that. You cannot strip constitutional rights and guarantees away from people without due process. Now, Chuck Schumer, my favorite senator in the whole world, came out and said during this filibuster, because what happened is Murphy would yield for questions, but he wouldn't yield the floor. So all his Democratic buddies came in and would ask 5-minute questions to give him, his voice, a break. But Schumer said, look, we have limitations on other rights. The First Amendment has its limitations. Sure, you have a freedom of speech, but it can't be hate speech. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Child pornography is illegal, and rightfully so. So we have limitations on every other constitutional guarantee. Why is the Second Amendment the exception? Why are there no limitations on the Second Amendment? And if you take that at face value, like he's telling the truth, you scratch your head and you say, well, good question. But the fact of the matter is there are limitations on the Second Amendment. The fact of the matter is that to purchase a gun legally, you do have to go through a federal background check. You have to wait 3 days to get your firearm. You cannot have a criminal conviction. In cases of domestic violence, if you are accused of domestic violence, the judge overseeing the case can scratch out a warrant or an order to seize your weapons until everything's hashed out. There are gun-free zones in this country. You're not allowed to carry your gun there. It's not an unequivocal, unbound guarantee. That's bumpkiss. That is rhetoric from the left. That is Chuck Schumer doing what Chuck Schumer does the best. There are bounds on the Second Amendment. It is not a universal, uninhibited right. It has been regulated by the government. And it's pure nonsense that he would say anything else. It's misleading, it's deceptive, but it's what the left does. Now, I'm not the only one that feels this way. Obviously, there are a lot of people out on the right saying, this is garbage. We're fighting the wrong fight. We're sending our dogs in the wrong direction. We're chasing guns, and we should be chasing ISIS. Well, there is a surprise person out there who actually agrees with me, and we're going to talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills. And you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
Oftentimes, these shock jocks have a way of saying things that the rest of us wouldn't go about it, but sometimes it's a little funny, sometimes it's a lot disturbing. But they're never short of being creative, and we're going to get into that. But if you are looking for the show throughout the week, you can find us several places. We are on conservativeradionetwork.com each and every day at 5 p.m. Central. We're on K98 Talk, the 405 Media, Sackheads Radio Media, High Plains Radio, and special thanks to those guys for including us in your lineup. It means the world to us to be able to have our show presented with what you're doing over there. Means the world. If you're looking for the show on demand, you can do so a number of ways. We're on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play as well. And then each and every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central, we are on News and Information 570 KLIF here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you are outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's still 3 ways to get a hold of the show, so fear not. You can do it at KLIF.com, ConservativeRadioNetwork.com, and the 405media.com. So special thanks to all those guys for carrying the show live Saturday night at 8 p.m., and that is a live offering. It gives you an opportunity to pick up the phone, to call in, to weigh in on what you're thinking, and for us to have a discussion. It's the one time of week we can go back and forth on the air, and I very much look forward to it every week. So Howard Stern spent part of his program Wednesday weighing in on this gun controversy, weighing in on the fact that now that we have another tragedy, the left takes the opportunity to politicize it and go after guns, as they do every single time. I'm going to read some quotes from Stern. I'm so upset about Orlando and what went down, but I can't believe these people would come out afterward and their answer to Orlando was to take away guns from the public. It's mind-blowing to me. He goes on to make an analogy, and to me it's not a bad analogy, about being sheep. He said, now let's say I walked up literally to a sheep herd, and now they have every night a couple wolves pick them off. What if I went up to the sheep and said, you want to have a shot at the wolves? I'm going to give you a pistol. You can actually even the playing field with these wolves whose fangs are out, and you could shoot them and save your family. So he's saying, look, with a gun, you can even the playing field. And he goes on to say, well, no, they would say, no, we're not going to do that. We have a shepherd. The shepherd protects us. We have sheepdogs. The sheepdogs protect us. Stern says, well, yeah, but that sheepdog isn't going to be able to get all the wolves all the time, and neither is the shepherd. They're not going to be with you 24/7. Don't you want to at least have a shot? So no, that's not how it works. And then he equates the American people to being the sheep. Why wouldn't you want a chance to fire back? Why wouldn't you want a chance to stand up and defend yourself? And it makes perfect sense. But the left claims it's the guns. And the left wants to take the guns from the sheep, from the people. They want to strip you of your Second Amendment right because getting rid of the guns is the answer, never mind the fact the criminals are still going to have them. That's fantastic to me, that is their way of thinking. In situations like this, when emotions are high and the stove's still hot, it's easy to claim every act of violence as terrorism or blame it on the guns or so on and so forth. In England, a member of the British Parliament was stabbed and shot after an attack in her district. She was out campaigning on the streets, doing whatever she does, and she was shot and she was stabbed. And she's in incredibly serious, critical condition. Now, at first, people thought this was a political attack, but it turns out that it was just another crazy man out there who was in a fight with another one. She tried to step in and break it up. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I bring this up is because Britain has very strict gun laws. But this person was still able to shoot a member of the British Parliament.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Buy new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
July 4th is coming, and it's not only the birth of this great nation, it is also the launch date for the new offering from Red Nation Rising. If you're not familiar with it, it's hashtag Red Nation Rising. It's a Twitter sensation. Over 1 billion impressions on Twitter a month. It has a stout following, has an account in each and every state, several countries. Governors, senators, congressmen, talk show hosts, celebrities, all follow various accounts. It is a big deal. And they have teamed up with Ron Phillips at conservativeradionetwork.com, and conservativeradionetwork.com, starting July 4th, will be the voice of Red Nation Rising, your one-stop shop for all things conservative. The greatest podcasters in the country, all available to you right there. It is a big deal. July 4th. Be a part of it. You want to be there when this thing launches. I want to go to Texas, and I want to talk a little bit about this because I'm torn. The Attorney General office has decided that if there is a parent behind on their child support, starting in December, they will no longer be able to register their car. I want to talk about this for a number of reasons. First, it is absolutely deplorable. You are a disgusting person. You are weak. You don't understand responsibility. And I've got no room for you if you do not take care of your kids. You are charged with one thing in this life as far as I'm concerned, especially as a man, and that is to take care of your family. And if you don't, I'm not saying if you're trying, I'm saying if you just write off that responsibility and your family is just, they can fend for themselves, you are disgusting to me. You are a joke of a man, and I've got no room for you whatsoever. But in that same breath, I have a buddy right now that's having to go back to court over the custody of his kids because his wife won't allow him to see his kids during the time the court ordered. You know, sometimes if dads don't get custody, they'll get every other weekend, maybe half the summer, every other Christmas, whatever. Whenever it's his time to be with his kids, the wife's not letting him come. And so he's having to go back to court, and this is an ongoing thing. And the fact of the matter is, divorce is a civil contention. And if you don't follow the divorce decree, the penalty is contempt of court. You haven't followed the court orders. You haven't broken the law. You just haven't listened to the judge, and he can hold you in contempt. That's how this thing works. It's a civil matter. But I watch this all too often of men having to go back and fight for their parental rights, fight to be a part of their kid's life because the mother feels like it's not the case. And I'm using gender-specific terms because 9 times out of 10, this is how it is. Now, let me be clear. Sound like the president. Let me be clear. There are a lot of parents who take their responsibilities seriously. And there are a lot of parents out there who do what they have to do to make sure their kids can succeed, and they set aside their differences for the betterment of their kids. I am not talking to you if that's you. Hats off to you. Hats off to you for understanding what's important. I'm talking about those scumbags who hate their spouse more than they love their kids, and so they'll use their kids as bait. They'll leverage and bribe their kids. They'll do whatever it takes. All they're concerned about is the money and getting back at the other person. I'm talking to those people. But this buddy I told you about that's having to go back to court over and over again, he can't seem to get a resolution. The judge slaps him on the hand and moves on. But if he is a day late and $1 short on his child support, he'll be in cuffs. That's the way this thing works. Moreover, this whole situation in Texas about not being able to register your car. If you look at the numbers, the sad fact is a majority of these people who are short on child support payments isn't because they're deadbeats. There's some out there, and I've already spoken to you. You're scum. It's because they're doing all they can, and they just can't scratch up the money. And if you take away their vehicle registration, how do they get to work to earn that money? That seems like a death spiral to me, doesn't it to you? And so what is the answer to this? How do you do this? My answer is simple. The government needs to get out of our business. The child support agency can't even collect and distribute child support properly when everybody else is doing what they're supposed to. It's another bureaucracy that is a complete joke. Now, I'm not married. I'm not divorced. I don't have any kids. I have no experience with this. But I know that anytime I run into government officials that think they know what they're doing, they don't. And it's like talking to a wall. And then they have this arrogance about them that they're better and smarter than you, and they've got you whipped. And the reality is, the only truth to any of that is they have the power given to them by the government. That's the only leverage they have on you. And I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating that the government's always trying to get control of something, even here in Texas. And I'm a fan of the Attorney General here, despite his legal complications. But at some point, the government just needs to step back and say, hey, we're out of here. This is a civil matter. It needs to be a civil matter, and it needs to stay a civil matter. We're going to stay in Texas. We're going to go to DeSoto ISD. A school board trustee is in trouble because he has said that we need to hire, as the DeSoto ISD, it's a suburb of Dallas, more white teachers. Oh, my gosh. Other school board trustees have come out and said, I'm embarrassed. There's no room for that. We don't have racial quotas. What? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Everybody does. And it's disgusting. Because if he would have come out and said, we need more African-American teachers, we need more Latino teachers, everybody would have applauded him for trying to reach diversity. Because that's the ultimate goal, right? Have a rainbow of skin colors and not the most accomplished people. That's the goal. Everybody has to be represented, whether you're qualified or not. That's the goal. Well, of course, the school board pushes back and says, our goal is to hire the best teachers. Over 75% of the teachers and administration in DeSoto ISD are black, and that's fine if they are the best qualified for the job, and they may well be. The push for quota, whether you're white, black, green, or yellow, is disgusting. But the outrage from this, because he said white, there are quotas everywhere. There's a reach for diversity everywhere. That's what Black Lives Matter is all about, and they get all the support in the world. Don't say the word white or you're in trouble. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow to close out the week. For Ron Phillips, I am Gavin Mitchell. This has been a Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production. We'll see you tomorrow.